ever since moving to Europe about 2 years ago, we're often asked the question as to what traditional South African foods are. So we're currently in South Africa under lockdown due to the virus with my family, and thought what better opportunity with the fridge at our disposal to dive into some South African foods. Over here we have a South African rusk, which is basically like a dried biscuit and could be compared to a biscuit in the Netherlands. Kind of like a rough texture, and it is quite hard. So my favorite thing to do in the morning is to dunk this in the coffee. People would call it like a double baked bread. Others call it potentially a cake rusk. You do get many different types. So in the video, as you can see, we have buttermilk, there's a banting, there's a gluten-free, and there is a brand. So I think over the years they definitely have introduced many new flavors and recipes to accommodate for as many dietary requirements as possible. It's quite interesting. It was originally packed as bread because it is dry. It didn't need refrigeration or coolness to keep fresh. So when the settlers spent days and days on the road moving across the country, they would pack this in, and it was a safe food source to keep for quite a long time. Our local and a favorite rusk brand is called the Oma Rusk, and I'll put a picture right here. It's still a favorite for many to this day. So up on the list we have South African Melk Tert, and I have Michelle here, who is my future sister-in-law. Don't make me cry on camera. It was originally from the Dutch settlers in the 1600s. Yeah, 1600s, basically made of sugar, flour, milk and eggs. It's like our national pie. Yes, I think some people would say. Yeah, and I think it can be compared to a cheesecake. Yeah, the consistency is pretty much the same. Yeah. It's very smooth, but maybe sweeter. Yeah, much sweeter. And it is served as a dessert. They don't often serve it in restaurants, but more at home gatherings. Yeah, and it can tea times, birthdays. Tea time, definitely. With tea and coffee it goes well. And can be store-bought. Yeah, so let's have a taste. That's really good. No, it's really, really good. I think I will eat the whole piece actually. Yeah. Very, very nice. Definitely a must try.
Hey guys, so today we bring you a typical South African tradition which is called Boerewors. It's normally packed in a circular shape like that, and very popular for our braai vleis. But the Boerewors comes in many flavors. It's a mixture of beef with a lot of spice and a lot of coriander, and then serving it with a delicious pop and sauce, or even on a boerie roll, which is a long hamburger roll, which we butter, put some relish on that, and then put a piece of this Boerewors on the Boerewors roll. And these are very popular in South Africa, especially at big rugby matches where there's nothing like a cold beer and a boerie roll.
So it's sort of like a mince meat, but that's like, I feel like it's been put into, like compacted into like this thin, and then just dried out, salt and vinegar.
Oh, it has to hang as well from the hanger.
Yeah, so what they do, they hang it, and then they have a little fan that blows the meat to dry it out a bit quicker.
This and that, if you want to get a quick snapshot of that, Brittany.
I've got it.
Just get a quick snapshot. just get a quick snapshot.
I've got it. No, get it.
The difference between the Droëwors and the Boerewors is almost like comparing Trent and I. The same thing, but manufactured slightly differently, and it looks a little bit different. You know?
Correct.
Still great flavor, but you get them in different sizes.
I see what you're doing.
You know what I mean?
That was a good one, bro. With the normal biltong, like when you cut it open, you'll still have that bit of red in the middle.
Yeah.
Where this one is, this one is a bit
dry.
more dry.
Hence the name Droëwors, because in Dutch it would be droog.
It's tough. Cheers.
Another favourite we have here is the South African Rooster broodjie, also known as, or formerly translated as, a barbecue sandwich.
Or a grilled cheese
Sandwich. Yeah.
Toasted sandwich.
Toasted sandwich. So we made a traditional sandwich, South African sandwich, which consists of
White bread, and you put a layer of chutney on it, which is a traditional South African garnish. You could say it's made out of fruits and sugars and everything. Then we lay down cheese, thinly sliced tomato, and very thinly sliced onions. And then we close it with another slice of bread tied in a knot, and we cook it on the fire.
on the braai,
On the braai.
which is a South African
Yes.
version of the good old barbecue. Let's dig in.
It's really good.
If you heard that crunch,
Really nice.
definitely a fantastic meal. Here we've got South African ProNutro, and it is a cereal. So for breakfast we have it as snacks. It is high in energy and protein. It's actually made of maize.
So tell me, what do you mix this with? Like, is it like just this or?
No, you can mix it with either water or milk.
Okay.
I prefer milk and soy milk.
And soy milk, where do you get that from? Palm trees? This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. So basically you put milk into it and it's like very runny, and then after a couple of seconds that happens to it, this weird thick texture, and then if you don't do anything to it, it just keeps getting thicker.
It's not that sweet at all, and I think that's why you need to add some honey or sugar to it.
Alright, I'm finally ready.
How good.
Very good.
I like it's the first time we've tasted it. I could have about 3 times that amount right now.
So this is another South African dish. We call it Mieliepap, which is an Afrikaans word. It's made from maize or mielies, corn, and then we serve it with an onion and tomato relish on the top. This Mieliepap is quite versatile. A lot of people have it for breakfast in the mornings with some milk as a porridge, and it's also probably the most common way of eating it with a braai in the evenings as a side dish. It feeds probably the majority of the people in this country. It's quite the national staple diet, and it's delish and enjoy. And of course it goes very well with a glass of red wine.
Alrighty, so another South African favourite.
Goeiemôre julle. Gaan dit vandag? Vandag gaan ons lekker chats bou, okay? Van Koeksisters. Joking.
Alrighty, so Trent, Brother Bear, what do we have in front of us?
We have some Koeksisters, but basically it's just dough,
Okay.
deep fried, and then once it comes out of the deep fryer, then they dip it in
Ice cold syrup.
ice cold syrup. So it's pretty crunchy
Very
when you
sweet.
bite into it. And then some nice syrup is on the inside, but not oozing out, just nice and absorbed.
Yeah, yeah.
Cheers. Soos nectar op die tong. Time for red wine.